You can immediately purchase or rent this new heist thriller online, starring John Travolta, Kristen Davis, and Lucas Haas. Mason, a professional thief who collaborates with his gang to carry out his many plans, is portrayed by Travolta. His most recent job involves robbing a bank, but when he finds out about a mystery box that belongs to a crime boss named Abel Salazar, what should be a straightforward operation becomes much more difficult. A huge explosion occurs at the bank towards the end of the film. Although it's presumed that Mason perishes in the explosion, the film ends with a twist, as one could anticipate from a film of this kind. In this cash-out article that explains the conclusion, we briefly review the story and pose the following query: what is Mason's fate? How does one start a cash-out? Mason and his companion Amelia, Davis, arrive to a private aviation exhibition at the start of the movie. But the planes don't pique Mason and Amelia's curiosity. Their primary focus is on the event organizer's collection of high-end vehicles. Mason and Amelia pretend that they just want to feel the rush of being in a car like that when they get into one of the vehicles. Naturally, though, it's all a ruse. Mason and Amelia get the opportunity to take the automobile out of the garage when one of their co-workers, a cunning hacker by the name of Link, breaks into the security system. The other members of the swindling squad, Sean, Mason's brother, Hector, and Anton, kill the security guards before robbing cars to make their own getaway. Amelia is who? Mason's partner, both romantically and professionally, is Amelia. There's a twist, though. Despite the fact that the two are presumably in love, it comes out that Amelia is an FBI undercover agent who has tricked her way into Mason's group. She makes her revelation amid a police pursuit in which the stolen automobile is being pursued by a number of police vehicles as well as a helicopter. Mason determines it's time for Plan B after learning this revelation. He escapes by crashing the automobile into a river. In contrast, Amelia returns to dry land without knowing where Mason has gone. What is Mason planning to rob next? Mason retreats to the island house he had intended to share with Amelia, feeling wounded by his previous employment and the breakup of his lover. He believes that he has departed from the theft game. Despite his retirement plans, Mason teams up with Sean and the others on this most recent theft once Sean's information regarding a cryptocurrency account kept in a bank vault surfaces. What takes place within the bank? The bank heist proceeds as planned, with Anton and Hector holding all other clients and bank employees captive while Mason and Sean kidnap the bank manager. After reaching the vault, Mason and Sean take out the box that is meant to hold the crypto data. But as it turns out, the box is a ruse created by the FBI to trap the crew. At the bank show up the FBI, led by Amelia, and the cops. Amelia is here to serve as a go-between for Mason and the law enforcement. Mason is taken aback by her visit, but he has more serious concerns after learning from the bank manager that their VIP clients store their confidential documents in the building next to the bank. Abel Salazar, one of these VIPs, is in possession of a box that holds some extremely dark secrets. Mason chooses to take this box for himself despite the bank manager's warning that Salazar shouldn't be trifled with. A man by the name of Mr. Flowers appears outside the bank in the meantime. To his surprise, he's not a florist. Instead, he's one of Salazar's men, warning Amelia that if his boss's hard drive ends up in the wrong hands, there would be hell to pay. Mason finds his way to Salazar's box. The military appears outside the bank, led by a man Salazar employs named Cyrus. He insists that Mason and his group turn themselves into the police and that the hostages be freed right away. After the hostages are freed, Mason refuses to turn himself in. He orders Sean, Anton, and Hector to give up as he and Link head for the hidden box after hammering his way through to the other building. Mason's group raises their hands as they exit the bank. As Mason is being confronted, Mr. Flowers and military personnel enter the bank. Mason orders Flowers to deliver $1 million to each of the captives and his crew members. If he doesn't, he'll use the explosives he planted to blow up the bank. Flowers accedes to the request, but Mason detonates the structure anyhow. Amelia believes that Mason, Link, and anybody else standing with them had perished in the explosion outside. However, the movie's conclusion tells a different tale. What is Mason's fate? Mason, Link, and perhaps Flowers and the soldiers also survived the blast. It's unclear how they managed to escape unharmed, but at least you can feel relieved that none of the actors in this film suffered any injuries. After then, the movie jumps to the future, where Mason is content with his second opportunity at retirement on the island. Sean, who purchased the home next door, is also with him. When the explosion created a distraction, the remainder of Mason's group was also able to get out of the bank. However, what about Amelia? Well, after leaving the FBI, she shows up on the island. Despite his illicit activities, she still has feelings for her man and follows him to his house after he sends her a card containing a clue as to where he is.